Very able Deputy Party Leader of the ODM Party, Senator Geoffrey Atieno Ososi, who has a future also elsewhere out of this Senate. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, water is life. In the SDG 6 talks about clean water and sanitation, Honorable Speaker. And we all know the relationship of clean water to health. We know the relationship of water to food. We all know the real critical space that the availability of water played in this country when we had the disastrous COVID, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, water remains a basic need of all of us. And that is why the provision of water is so critical to this nation, Honorable Speaker. There is the 9 reports of water companies of Busia, Elgeyo Marakwet, Kirinyaga, Kilifi, Mandera, Migori, Mombasa, Laikipia, and Tharaka Nithi, Honorable Speaker. But the obstacles that we continue to meet in this sector remains uniform in all the counties, Honorable Speaker. In the report, Honorable Speaker, the committee makes reference to aging infrastructure. Honorable Speaker, I was lucky to have served as a CEM of water for some 6 months in Mutembei County during some transition as we are going for the 2017 election in Mutembei County. I was then the CEC of lands, but I had the privilege to serve as CEC of water for some 6 months. And Honorable Speaker, all the challenges that this committee talks about are challenges that I encountered when I had that short stint as the water CEC. Honorable Speaker, the infrastructure that our counties have, especially in the municipalities, in the county headquarters of the county, remain the same infrastructure that has been there for all the time that those towns have been there. In particular, in Mutembei town and Mutembei municipality, we have an aging infrastructure. Despite the growth that has been there, then it means, Honorable Speaker, that this infrastructure cannot consistently and sufficiently serve this growing population in the town. So as much as the Lake Victoria South Water Board has dealt with, through development partners, has dealt with the availability, the supply of water. Honorable Speaker, if the counties or the companies do not get funds to deal with the distribution lines, with expanse distribution lines that can serve this population, then the issue of access to water by our people remains a pipe dream. And that is often why this water system breaks down. Because if it's going to be pushed to pump water to all the areas of the towns or the catchment areas, the infrastructure that is available is not able to do so. So, Honorable Speaker, the county governments or the boards and all the funders or the development partners must, as a priority, deal with the rehabilitation of the distribution lines of our water system. Honorable Speaker, along the aging infrastructure, we also have corrupt practices within these jurisdictions. Honorable Speaker, there's the mention of illegal connections. And Honorable Speaker, when you reflect at all our urban centers, you often see the thriving business of water tankers. It is right to believe, Honorable Speaker, that most of the people dealing with the water tankers or the water boosters are also people within the water sector. And Honorable Speaker, then it means that they are able to cause inadequacies in the provisions of water so that they are able to make their businesses thrive, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, water remains a basic need. And as a country and as the world as enshrined in SDG 7, everybody should be able to access water as a basic need. Honorable Speaker, the report also mentions the high operating costs, and Honorable Speaker, this is a setback to the realization of a water supply in most of our companies. Honorable Speaker, most of the companies and the municipalities as we have still rely on electricity as a source of power. And a number of the companies are not able to pay their electricity bills. And so you have a lot of interruptions in the provisions of water in our municipality. Honorable Speaker, there's also a mention of governance. Honorable Speaker, in most of the companies, this is a menace that in providing water, this system, these provisions must be managed by competent people that are appointed, Honorable Speaker. We urge our governors that oversee these companies that go ahead and appoint people who can actually manage these water companies. The water companies must not only be limited to employment bureaus in our municipality. Honorable Speaker, I must also mention that our county bosses or the managers of the counties must also work on physical planning of the towns, because the physical plans enable the water system to be realigned to the urban centers. And lastly, Honorable Speaker, I also want to mention that water provision must not only be limited to the urban space, that everybody in this republic deserve the provision of water. So our counties, as they focus on water provision in urban centers, we must also enhance access to water in our rural areas. Honorable Speaker, in my own sub-county headquarters, that is Ndewa Town, as we talk, we have no water. And yet, the Lake Victoria South Water Services had invested in a borehole in Ndewa Town that is capable of serving the whole town and the environs, that is not limited to 1 or 2 wards in that sub-county. But what is happening, Honorable Speaker? The borehole is available, water is available, but distribution, all the lines are destroyed, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, I've raised this with the Water Ministry and the Water Secretary, but all have been told is that the county government of Homa Bay should look at the rehabilitation of this distribution line. And I call upon our county government of Homa Bay, look at the rehabilitation of the distribution line of the main water supply of Ndewa Town so that the people of Ndewa can be served. Honorable Speaker, we know that water plays a role. Water is related to health, as I've said, to food, and even to security. Honorable Speaker, in this country, we've had situations where we have floods when there rains. And yet we see that our government is not able to harvest this water in time so that it can solve the scarcity of water at times of drought. So rightly, we walk from drought and then we run into drought. And we see how drought is related to lack of food and security. Honorable Speaker, I live and I support this motion. I want to urge Kenyans that Kenyans, let us go for courses that will serve the water sector. The water sector is able to give a solution to the unemployment situation we have in this country. Honorable Speaker, this country will lack adequate plumbers, we lack adequate water engineers, and this can be solved by our people, our Form 4s that leave school, going for artisan courses, going to the Kewi school. The Kewi school is sufficient enough to train skilled manpower for this sector. Honorable Speaker, I support.
Thank you, Senator William Kisang. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also arise to support this motion and also admit that I'm also a member of this particular committee and thank the last Senate 2017-2022, Honorable Speaker, because in its own wisdom, they saw the need to split the oversight committees into two. Otherwise, the special funds and the water companies, Honorable Speaker, would not have been audited by this particular House, Honorable Speaker. And I want to thank also my chair, who is the deputy party leader of ODM. I know is really leading the committee very well. And I have also told him 2027 is likely to come and face us, so he needs to do a good job. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, as a committee, as we went through the reports, the audited reports, Honorable Speaker, generally, one of the issues that we noted was weak management structures in the water companies, governance issues, Honorable Speaker, especially most of the water service providers didn't have competent boards. And